Should the Detroit Lions pursue Josh Jacobs or Tony Pollard? And the second part to that question, Jeff, is should they draft Beydoun Robinson in the first round? Those are your three options. And you can answer no to all of them. You can answer yes to one or two.
Right.
But let's start with free agency. Are you shelling out the money it would require for Josh Jacobs or a Tony Pollard?
So if Brad Holmes was going to pursue a running back, it would be those two, in my opinion. Two guys that have been healthy for a majority of their career. Both guys that have produced. I mean, Tony Pollard sharing a backfield. He almost has 1,000 yards. I do think Dallas is going to do everything in their power to try and keep him. And for Josh Jacobs, that's the big one for me because I can see a team overpaying for Josh Jacobs. I mean, he's probably going to demand, if we look at expected market value, this is per Spotrac, he's expected to get around 4 years, about $50 million. We'll see what a team pays for him. If I'm being honest with you, as much as I would love a workhorse back, I do feel like this team needs someone that you can put a lot of pressure on, put a ton of carries on. And Josh Jacobs right now is second in the NFL in attempts. I mean, he has 306 on the season. So there's your workhorse. But I don't think they should delegate that money to a running back. With how bad this defense is, that should be number one. The offense, even with Swift and Jamal, yes, lately the run game has taken a hit, and they're going to need to address that, whether it's in draft or free agency. I just think with this offensive line, it gives you so much flexibility with what you can do at the running back position. You don't need a Josh Jacobs. You don't need a Tony Pollard, even though those guys would be great assets. It's not like you don't have an offensive line and you need somebody like a Jacobs or a Pollard to kind of create something out of nothing. This offensive line has shown you they could produce 100-yard backs. They did it last year with Craig Reynolds. But you want a consistent guy back there. I mean, Jamal, as much as I love him, he's not your RB1. He's not an RB1, even though he's having a good year. And Swift, to me, is a shell of what we expected him to be. So they're going to have to address it. But to answer your question, Adam, I just don't think the money should be pushed to a running back. Maybe you draft one. And Beydoun in the first, it's intriguing. But something tells me that when Beydoun, you're expecting him to be there by the time the Lions pick with their actual draft pick, which is like 18 right now, I believe. I just think there'll be better defensive players available.